Today on The New Makers, we're visiting the duo behind the design studio, Pelican House. Their modern twist on traditionally crafted rugs has solidified their names as ones to watch in the world of interiors. Guided by shared values, they work directly with artisans in India, Nepal, and Turkey to bring their designs to life, while giving back to the communities that made them possible. Hey guys!
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
So nice to see you. So much for having me. This must be your new studio.
Yeah,
I love it. When did you guys move in?
3 weeks old.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear more about the story of how it all started.
Well, shall we? It's such a nice day. Shall we grab some and go to the park?
Yes, I'll
Yeah.
grab some samples. This is the perfect spot. I'd love to know how Pelican House started, guys.
It all started in 2021. I moved out to India with my husband for a bit of an adventure. We had other jobs and it was COVID, and I studied history of art, and I've always loved craft and the story behind an object. And I love India. We're so passionate about India, and I think, again, being connected to that as a company, it's just like being able to go there every year, and it's just the most magical, spiritual.
It's such
and
a
the people
source.
there are just
Yeah.
so talented and like warm and.
Guys, I did not know that. That's so interesting. I didn't know. That's so cool. You actually went, and I didn't know you'd lived there for a year. I love that.
And then when you're there, you like see all these amazing artists and makers, and I just couldn't believe that these people that they weren't recognised for their work. And it was, you see all these amazing products across the world that have been made in India, and it just kind of made me sick, like feel really upset about it. So at the beginning, I was like, I want a company that makes an impact and actually like tells these stories and elevates these people, and it gives them more respect for their work. I'm not a designer, and I was like, how am I going to make something which is truly original and like celebrating this craft? And indie, I was actually sourcing for.
Sourcing something else. I had a side hustle that I was wanting to make in India, and so approached Bella. Well, we approached each other. So she was going to help me.
Was your side hustle also rugs?
No, it wasn't.
Trays.
It
So I was
wasn't.
like, I was going
Yeah.
to like carpentry workshops and learning, like seeing all this like whole side to carpentry in India, which I never.
I know. You even had like a sample made for me. So we basically like dating. We went for some glasses of wine together.
I
And
came back to like renew my visa, and we go for wine, and like being there, you have the confidence to set things up. But here, I think setting up a rug company based in London, I'd be like, I don't have the money, firstly. And there's such a variety of skills, and that's what's just incredible. Like, I used to have a craft map and would pin where I wanted to go and learn about which craft.
Oh, I want to come on a craft tour.
there.
You need to do a craft tours, the Pelican House craft tour. I'd love to come, because that's really interesting. Because I think a lot of people are really interested about it, but I don't even know where I'd start with researching where to find.
I didn't know where to start, so
Yeah.
that's why I had this map. I was like, right, I'm going there.
Your craft map,
And then
I
I
love
just
that.
book it and go.
So this is one of your first pieces you've ever created. It's called Serpent. It's a lovely design. I'd love to know about the inspiration behind the sort of patterns and prints behind your collections, and in particular this first one.
I think for our first collection, we were just so eager to get something out into the world that we just took inspiration from everywhere. From fabric fragments, antique paintings. It was kind of just an amalgamation of everything we had seen and both liked at the very beginning, and that was our first collection. And we were still young, and we just wanted to kind of get out our ideas to begin with.
They're like collecting art pieces, and they're supposed to be cherished for sort of years to come. So do you feel a lot of your customers sort of understand that and respect that journey because it's an investment piece into the rugs you're creating?
You can't just make a rug in 6 weeks. Like it takes time. Like otherwise you're putting pressure on the weavers and the whole process and the quality. And it's it's definitely an education process.
You've created some really wonderful collaborations over the years. I really loved the images I saw from your latest collaboration with Lucy Williams. I'd love to go look at the rugs in the studio.
Sure, let's do it.
So this is your collaboration with Lucy.
Yes,
here.
exactly.
Yeah.
So quite a few of her final samples, and then there's a kind of mixture of different samples that didn't quite make the cut.
In different materials.
Different materials, maybe even just slightly different colour variations. For instance, here, we weren't sure which green for the kind of diamond, half diamond shapes here, so we trialled two.
We did jute and wool for this one, so we'll like see which ones look best.
And it's also quite fun for us to just explore more options.
When you collaborate with someone, in this instance Lucy, how much of the creative journey are they part of when it comes to actually designing?
Everyone's different. With Lucy in particular, you know, she has amazing taste. She had quite formed ideas already. She knows the colours that she loves. So we started with mood boards. She had 3 themes. I then go away, draw those ideas up, come back for rounds of revisions, discuss those sketches. They might evolve. One of them didn't evolve much. One of them evolved, I think, 5 times. It just really depends. And then you go into the sampling process. We choose together all the different colours from these boxes. You might have 1 round of sampling, you might have 2 rounds of sampling, and then there's into final production.
Do you feel you learn something new from each collaboration you take on?
Definitely. I think one of the main things I've personally learned is, well, just seeing their use of colour, which can be so, we have quite bold taste in colour and so do they, but that doesn't mean that we have the same ideas. So when we've been choosing the colours together, for me it might not be a natural pairing, but then when we sample it and see it, I think, oh wow, this is beautiful, this is amazing. So just understanding other people's colour palettes really and how they work and how they've paired them together.
We obviously have very strong design with Indy's background, but just seeing how like it can take you down a creative avenue you would never have thought of otherwise, and using the same techniques translated in a completely different design.
You've also done a collaboration with Shrimps, and you mentioned earlier how they had quite a large design team. What was that process like? What did you learn from them?
So interestingly, the way we worked with Shrimps was quite different to Lucy, mainly just because they come from 2 different backgrounds. So Shrimps being a fashion brand, she already had a massive archive of prints, designs, fabrics, textures, colours, sort of everything. We weren't starting from scratch in the same way. We had all of these amazing inspiration, images, fabrics to work from. So with her, really what we did was taking different parts of her archive and then reimagining them to be rugs. It was a very different way of working, but incredibly interesting for us to kind of do all these different things with different people and understand different businesses and even their insight into different industries and how their design process works.
Do you have a hero product that you feel over the past few years has become, you know, very much part of Pelican House's identity?
I think has changed over time. At the very beginning,
Still think it's Serpent though.
yeah, Serpent, this good old
So your
guy.
original design
I think,
is still...
but it might be because it's been around for the longest.
Yes.
It's not like, I guess, with fashion or other industries, it's not quick, it can take time because obviously people have got to fill their homes, you've got to think about project lead times can be so long, hotels take years to think about, like it's just, there's so many variables with buying a rug.
With all the pressures of running a business, how do you stay intentional to your values whilst growing?
Definitely a challenge that we are probably facing a couple of years into the company. But luckily we feel very strongly about our values and our mission and our vision. So we're just following that. So we've even had a few opportunities that have come our way recently, which are, when they come through the inbox, we're like, oh my God, this is so exciting. But then we're like, it doesn't sit well with us. We're like, is this really taking us where we want to be? Is this gonna represent our brand? Is this why we're here? Is this gonna keep us, you know, slow and artisanal and like really celebrating what we do, or is it going to make us seem more mass produced? And so we've said no to these opportunities, even though commercially they could be incredible for us. So it's like listening to your gut.
So would you say you are sort of the antithesis to just producing for the sake of producing?
I guess so. It feels like quite bold to say, like, to say that, but we're so passionate about what we do. We love design, and we're so impact driven that is what comes first. Like, it really is. It's sort of, we're so passionate about that, and I think we want to be making money too, but that comes first.
What does success look like for you?
We set up in the first place to make an impact on the weavers' lives. So for us, I think as we grow, at the past few years, we've been focusing on setting up and establishing ourselves and making sure that everything's there. But in the future, we really want to be knowing that we're making a difference. So I think success will be knowing that.
I see it changing. I mean, I think so deeply about things, you can probably tell. I listen to so many podcasts, read so much, but there's like it's going the opposite way of what is success. What does success mean for people? You know, and my dad was just even telling me it used to be just more stuff, more this. But actually, most people just want to simplify things now, because you kind of want to feel rooted in quite a chaotic and also at times quite disturbing world. So you just want to focus. And sometimes the more I've heard from people also in business, the first actual 5 years of their business was the most profitable, because as you expand, you've got more areas to sort of dilute it or have errors or cash flow. And
when you're smaller, you have less outgoings. If we were to grow very quickly, then we'd have a hell of a lot more outgoings.
Yeah, that's why it's staying true to yourself, growing effectively and like in a balanced way, that we're making sure that we're doing exactly what we love. We have a team that's, you know, very happy, and that our clients are very happy with their product, and that we don't lose that touch that we have when you're smaller, like that sort of more personal connection. I think I can see that might be a challenge, so it would be really successful just to have that balance.
That's it.